Thank you so much for being here tonight. It's such a special evening. We're celebrating the 2015 Wall of Honor inductions. And tonight we have the distinct pleasure of honoring 5 outstanding individuals who have impacted our school district in truly extraordinary ways. This is the highest honor that we give to our retirees and our retired board members. We will share the details of their individual contributions with you a little bit later. But the Wall of Honor that you see here was constructed for the purpose of honoring individuals who have made a huge impact on our district. A recognition committee that's comprised of members of the Board of Education, the East Brunswick Education Association, and the East Brunswick Principals and Supervisors Association was established to develop the guidelines and criteria for the selection of honorees. Eligibility for this honor is a small window. It begins 1.5 years following the June 30th of the retirement year and ends 3.5 years later. A register of honor is located to the far right. And if you have time later, I hope you look through it so you can read all about the wonderful people who are on the Wall of Honor. And after tonight, we will add 5 more speeches. So at this time, I'm going to introduce to you Dr. Brad Cohen, President of the East Brunswick Board of Education.
Good evening, everybody. I just want to throw out the word legacy. Just think about that for a second. I will get back to it. For those of you who might have been at the East Brunswick Education Foundation dinner the other night, I had spoken a little bit about trends. And when I was in business school, we learned that when something happens 6 times in a row or longer, it's no longer an accident. It's a trend, and trends don't happen by accident. But when you take a trend and then continue that year after year after year, it becomes a legacy. And what is a legacy? A legacy is a gift. It's a gift that you pass on to other people. And that could be through mentoring, that could be through being a teacher, that could be an aide, it could be a secretary, it could be the lunch person in line who was for you as a student, that person that allowed you to see a world that you couldn't see without them and opened up an infinite world of opportunities that you never imagined yourself. They say that if you save or affect one life, you can affect the world. You could make the world a better place. We have people here that affect thousands of lives every day and make those lives better infinitely. And when you do that over and over through the thousands of kids that have gone through our halls, then you've made the world better exponentially. We have a lot of people here this evening who are already on that wall. They are special people. We have 5 more that we're going to add to that wall. But the honor isn't really a plaque or your name on a building or just that fades over time. That's inanimate. The honor is what you've imparted to other people that affects their lives and the lives of those people to come. And that gift is the legacy. So I congratulate the 5 people who are going to be nominated here tonight and placed on our wall. It is an infinite honor. So I thank you.
Next, I'd like to introduce to you Dr. Dana Zimbicki, President of the East Brunswick Education Association.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight is one of my favorite nights of the year. I just enjoy seeing so many people and having this wonderful tribute. We're going to celebrate these amazing colleagues of ours tonight, and they're going to receive the highest award that East Brunswick gives. And we're going to continue to honor the tradition of the best of East Brunswick and take some time to reflect on the magnitude each of the 5 individuals here have played on our district. Calvin Coolidge, the 30th President of the United States, once said, "No person was ever honored for what he received. Honor has been the reward for what he gave." And that is so true of the 5 honorees tonight. Tonight, we are going to look at the incredible impact made by 2 superintendents, 1 secretary, 1 social studies teacher, and 1 science teacher. Each honoree tonight has made a lasting impact on our district and has donated countless hours of their time to bring East Brunswick to blue ribbon recognition. They've allowed our students to strive beyond what they ever thought was possible, and they've touched the community by volunteering their time selflessly, just to know that they really truly did make a difference. The association would like to express our admiration, our respect, and our gratitude for the dedicated service and sacrifices the 5 of you have made to our district. So, to the family and friends of Murray Chittock, to Paul and Joann, Barbara, and Gladys, I thank you on behalf of the East Brunswick Education Association, and I truly hope you enjoy this most deserving tribute tonight as you become part of the East Brunswick legacy. Thank you.
Now please welcome Andy Scanlon, President of the East Brunswick Principals and Supervisors Association.
Thank you. Yes, our honorees tonight have done so many great things, and I think the most recent great thing that you did was you came here, and because of that, I believe most of the potholes are fixed out in the drive here. But it's a great honor to be here. These 5 honorees, they are the game changers. You had like Vince Lombardi changing football, Steve Jobs changing business. You have President Lincoln changing the country. Well, these people, they changed East Brunswick, obviously for the better or the much better. So, being game changers, and in this world where everyone's getting pulled in every which direction, these people are the role models. And when you say role models and who's looking up to you, it's students, it's teachers, it's administrators. So it's great for your service, everything that you have done and continue to do. So thank you all, and from the principals, assistant principals, supervisors, and department chairs, congratulations and thank you very much.
Okay, now the best part. Going to introduce to you our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Victor Valesky, who's going to recognize each of our inductees tonight. After your induction is read, please come up and reveal your name, and then come get your plaque. Dr. Valesky, Dr. Cohen.
Good evening, everyone. Our first Wall of Honor inductee tonight is Murray Chittock, a longtime resident of Middlesex County who provided 32 years of exemplary service to East Brunswick Public Schools. Murray attended Rutgers University, where he majored in chemistry and played the trumpet in the university's first marching band. After serving in the Army during World War I, he worked as a part-time police officer and volunteer fireman. It was then that he joined the district as a teacher while returning to Rutgers University to earn his degree in educational administration. From 1924 to 1929, Murray was a teaching principal, and from 1930 to 1957, he was the district's first superintendent of schools. Murray's deep-rooted values emphasized excellence long before the districts adopted the motto of excellence in academics, athletics, and the arts. He was the first to hire a young teacher named Mary Monroe, who would later become the reason why Bound School became Bound Monroe School. Mary was his colleague and confidant. From day one, Murray's primary focus were children. His personal mission was to ensure that children received a high-quality education. He would travel out to farms in rural areas to encourage the children to come to school. He was responsible for establishing the first organized bus line to the township in order to make it easier for children to have access to learning. In the early years, Murray wore multiple hats: administrator, secretary, attendance monitor, and custodian. He helped the district survive the Great Depression. His passion for music led to the purchase of a piano, which Mary Monroe would wheel into classrooms for instruction. He covered her classes so she could focus on music instruction. And finally, in 1940, he hired the district's first music teacher. Safety was another of Murray's focal points. During the Second World War, Murray had all the schools practice air raid precautions, and he had all students fingerprinted as a means of identification. He turned schools into distribution centers for rations and had his teachers trained in first aid. At his urging, the Board of Education purchased land to accommodate the growth that the town would experience in the years that followed, and following the construction of the New Jersey Turnpike. In the 1950s, the board made great use of the land, building Central School, Bound School, and Memorial School. In 1957, Murray Chittock retired due to health reasons, yet he remained active in the school community. By visiting the schools he worked tirelessly to build. He continued to indulge his passion for music and watched the district grow with the construction of several new schools. In September of 1968, Murray passed away, leaving behind a legacy that remains today. For his vision, love for children, passion for the arts, and forward thinking, we are so proud tonight to add him to the Wall of Honor. This plaque and a copy of the induction speech will proudly hang at Murray A. Chittock Elementary School, which was built in 1969 and opened in 1970. Here with us tonight are the principal of the Chittock School, Steve Decker, and teacher Joseph Schwartz, who provided the recognition committee with Murray Chittock's detailed service to our district. Congratulations to Murray Chittock. In September 1970, Paul Doc Kimmel came to the district as the high school chemistry teacher. The impact of his 42 years of service has reached far beyond the four walls of his classroom. In fact, if you were lying on an examination table in a doctor's office, it's very likely you're being treated by a former student of Paul Kimmel's. His inspiring teaching style led many an East Brunswick public school student to pursue career in sciences and medicine. Paul consistently emphasized to his students to avoid learning by merely memorizing. Instead, he taught them to analyze, think critically, and use data to solve problems. Because if you understand the underlying concepts, the rest just flows naturally. Paul's pride in being a teacher in East Brunswick was evident in his work ethic. In his words, being selected from a large candidate pool through a rigorous interview process into a district with high stakes standards for teaching and learning made him a very proud teacher. He saw a host of changes to the teaching profession during his 42 years of service. Curriculum, technology, YouTube, smartboards. But he felt that still, like the old song, the fundamental things apply as time goes by. To Paul, teaching was communication, and he learned as much from building positive relationships with his students as they learned from him. Paul reached so many students by advising numerous clubs and teams, including the Chemistry Club, Chemistry League, Science League, Musicians Club, and the Science Team. As a result of his students' hard work and Paul's inspirational coaching, he led students to the Regional Department of Energy Science Bowl 8 times, which allowed them to participate in the national competition in Washington, D.C. 4 of his students won the National Chemistry Olympiad, and 2 went on to international competition. His Jets team won numerous state awards and 2 national awards. He felt these accomplishments were a credit to the entire school system. Paul's accomplishments as a teacher can also be demonstrated when viewing the results of his AP chemistry students, having consistently scored 5s year after year. In 2002, Paul was named Teacher of the Year for East Brunswick High School, an honor that meant the world to him. Paul stressed to his students the importance of being well-rounded and loved showing them the different sides of his personality. He indulged his passion for music by playing in the pit band for the school musicals. He talked to them about his cycling trips and travel destinations and made it a tradition to give his chemistry classes a piano concert on the last day of school before winter recess. Paul retired in 2012, but is living anything but a quiet life. He and his wife of 50 years are planning an anniversary trip to New Zealand in January. His 4 sons all benefited from a quality education in East Brunswick and are adults in successful careers. He is also loving being a grandfather to Maya and Anya. Tonight, we celebrate this Renaissance man who gave his heart, soul, and love of science, music, and discovery to every student he came in contact with. Join me in congratulating our 2015 Wall of Honor inductee, Dr. Paul Kimmel. Our next Wall of Honor inductee this evening is Barbara Mayer, who provided 45 years of exemplary education to our social studies students at the secondary level. In 1968, Barbara was hired at Churchill Junior High School, where she taught for 18 years before moving to Hammersholt Middle School, where she taught for 2 years. In 1988, she joined the social studies department at East Brunswick High School, creating a scholarly team of educators who led our students to national recognition in the Model Congress and the IPPL programs. East Brunswick Public Schools meant as much to Barbara personally as it did to her in a professional sense. Barbara's colleagues were her second family. Not only did she cultivate long-lasting friendships here, but she met her husband while teaching at Churchill Junior High School. She also gained a sister for life and partner in crime and co-worker, Joyce Lentz. Together, they made up 2/3 of a social studies competition dream team. There is no doubt that Barbara's fine-tuned content knowledge and instructional skills led to student success. But more importantly, her personal connections and intuitiveness about how teenagers think and learn significantly contributed to student success. Barbara's knowledge of history, politics, and law would be envied by any Supreme Court justice. Barb was truly a mentor for so many of our high school teachers. She was much more than a fountain of knowledge. She was someone who modeled exemplary instructional practices. For first-year teachers were often sent to see her in action because of how engaged her students always were. Students loved their experiences in her classes and learned so much more than the content. They were taught the skills that enabled them to become productive citizens. Barbara's above and beyond attitude can be seen each and every day as she willingly sacrificed her prep and lunch periods to coach students in preparation for competition. Her generosity was invaluable because without her expertise and genuine care for the students, we would not have experienced such success at the state and national level. Barbara also volunteered countless hours through the years as an after-school judge for our Model United Nations tryouts. And then she chaperoned those trips and was integral in evaluating student performance at those competitions and providing them with feedback on how they could perform more effectively. For many years, Barb was a tremendous leader of our mock trial program. There were so many of our graduates working as lawyers across the country who got their start in Barb's mock trial club. In 2004, Barbara was recognized as East Brunswick High School's Teacher of the Year. She's also been recognized for 25 and 40 years of service to our district. Although her 4 children, Chris, Joe, Becky, and Lisa, along with her son-in-law and granddaughters Emily and Ashley, have fulfilled her in retirement, Barbara just can't stay away from social studies. This past spring, she returned to work with our IPPL students who once again earned first place in state competition. Next weekend, they travel to the national competition, and Barbara will be at their side. Congratulations to Barbara Mayer. Our next Wall of Honor inductee describes her career not as a job, but as a journey. And what a journey it was. Dr. Joann Magistra came to our school district in 1971 as a guidance counselor at East Brunswick High School. Over the next 34 years, she excelled in 8 leadership positions in our district: guidance department chairperson, assistant principal, administrative assistant to the superintendent, assistant superintendent of student services, assistant superintendent of personnel, and superintendent of schools. While serving as an assistant superintendent, Dr. Magistra also served as principal of Frost Elementary School, 2 different times. She absolutely loved working with her Frost students, families, teachers, support staff, and the PTA. In fact, Dr. Magistra respected the entire school community. Her leadership was instrumental in the district's ability to consistently bring local, state, and national recognition to East Brunswick Public Schools. The legacy of excellence she created while in each role stems from her incredibly collaborative leadership style. Perhaps the best example of this was the implementation of the full-day kindergarten program for our students. A full-day kindergarten program was a long-standing dream of hers and also a wish of the community's. Dr. Magistra not only made this dream a reality, but she also chaired the committee who would plan the curriculum, choose the materials and supplies, and structure the optimal kindergarten day for our young learners. With full input from all stakeholders, parents, board members, teachers, and other members of the community, under her leadership, every voice always mattered. Joann will tell you that seeing the faces on our kindergarten students as they arrive for their first full-day program, seeing them excited to purchase lunch, paint an art class, develop their skills in physical education, and even move up a reading level was priceless. Dr. Magistra was a roll-up-your-sleeves type of leader. After Hurricane Sandy, it was she who rode around the district to see the damage to the town and decide how we could return our students safely with downed trees on every street corner. She rode coach buses when our vendors failed us in order to get our students to school. She had a hand in every aspect of the educational community, from curriculum to construction to security. She was a hands-on leader all the way. During her tenure as superintendent, she garnered the support of the community to renovate, enlarge, and build several elementary schools and the Hammersholt Middle School. And she would be the first to tell you that she worked with the best and the brightest, and that all her accomplishments were because of the talented teachers, administrators, and support staff, as well as the Board of Education that she had beside her. During her tenure, all 11 schools were recognized as Blue Ribbon schools. In 2012, the Art Administrators of New Jersey honored her with the Educational Leadership Award for her vision and support of arts education. Since retirement, she has indulged her other passions, including traveling and spending time with her family, which includes husband Hank, a retired district supervisor, children Henry and Elizabeth, who is currently a teacher with our district, and their significant others, Jenna and Shane. Tonight, we add another way her legacy lives on by inducting her into the Wall of Honor. Congratulations, Dr. Magistra. Our final inductee this evening is a woman best known as the district cheerleader. Gladys Rozinsky, an extraordinary and talented teacher, or secretary, began her career in 1984 at East Brunswick High School. In 1992, she became a curriculum secretary, a position she held 21 years under Supervisor Hank Stankiewicz until her retirement in 2010. In the days of industrial arts and family and consumer science, Gladys was a shining star and a valuable resource for Hank, as well as for all teachers and administrators who worked with her. Gladys knew a little bit about everything, which is extremely helpful when your department is always evolving. From woodworking to technology education, from sewing to interior design, from auto shop to computer programming. The ever-changing technology led to course revisions and new electives, and Gladys was there to support the department every step of the way. Intelligent, personable, innovative, and creative are a few words regularly used to describe Gladys. In the days before technology was widely used, she was known district-wide for her cutting-edge skills. She was instrumental in assisting other secretaries in implementing Microsoft products and Mac computers. She created typing instructional materials for teachers when the district purchased the Type to Learn program for our elementary students. She participated in the selection of appropriate elementary education software and was always reassuring and helpful when working with teachers who were unfamiliar with technology. Perhaps Gladys' most proud moment was the annual high school co-op program breakfast. It was at this event that Gladys made it a point to express the district's gratitude to each employer for welcoming our students into their workplaces. Her pride in each student's accomplishments was as evident as each one was recognized with a certificate made lovingly by her. Her exceptional reputation for being a helpful, patient team player was evident in literally everything she did. Whether she was greeting visitors, putting parents at ease, assisting teachers in getting materials, she did it all with precision and class. Her incredible ability to understand and relate to all members of the school community was extremely rare, and everyone would tell you that her smile could light up a room. Gladys appreciates the wonderful people she has worked with over the years, friends who have shared laughter and tears over decades of a partnership. In retirement, she has enjoyed spending more time with her family. Both her son James and daughter Kathleen are graduates of East Brunswick High School and are enjoying successful careers. Along with their spouses Karen and Mark and 6 grandchildren, it's all about the family, which she is now living closer to in southern New Jersey. For her years of extraordinary service, we are pleased to place her name on this wall of honor. Congratulations, Gladys.
So, you've gotten to know 5 of our superstars. Thank you so much for coming tonight. You being here makes it so special. We are going to take a short break, but first we're going to ask our new Wall of Honor inductees to come up for a picture. So thank you, everyone. Have a great night.